Hey you guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Meryl. If you are new here, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. And if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate it. One problem I have with this case is like, it's kind of, if you don't, it didn't go on properly, so then I have like a fucking hard time getting it open. Like it's supposed to just be super simple and twist it on, but sometimes it gets stuck. But that's only if it's not on properly, which obviously it needs to be on properly, but anyways, sometimes it's a bitch to get off. Okay, so in my last video, I mentioned that I was going to do like a makeup eraser sponge kind of test and see what it's all about. So I washed it, so you're allowed to wash it. If you don't know what the makeup eraser is, you are missing out and you need one. They are amazing. So they're just like little makeup erasers. It's like a makeup wipe, except it's reusable and no waste. It's amazing. So the one side has short fibers, and that's to take off the makeup, and then the second side has longer fibers. This is supposed to be used for exfoliating, and I use these every single day. Like I haven't used a makeup wipe since Christmas. Definitely. My boyfriend got me like the big one for Christmas, and I haven't used a makeup wipe since. 100%. Definitely not. So obviously you're saving some money as well, because makeup, I used to use the Neutrogena ones, and they're like 11 bucks a pack, and if you get the double packs, it's like 17 bucks for 2 packs of makeup wipes. And I mean, how often do you buy makeup wipes? Often. So in my opinion, makeup erasers are highly worth it. So Makeup Eraser came out with a makeup sponge. It's like the Beauty Blender, except I like it way more. Spoiler, this sponge is unreal. It's very soft. It blends out your makeup so nicely. It leaves like a perfect application, and I just love it so much. So, the sponge by the Makeup Eraser. Bye bye dirty sponges forever. The sponge is specifically formulated with original makeup eraser using the same unique wash technology to erase makeup out of your sponge by simply machine washing. How to use. Use wet or dry for a flawless application. The wet sponge will expand in size to create a sheer finish. Pro tip, the drier your sponge, the fuller the coverage. So I was thinking we'd do something fun today. Do half the face with the dry sponge, half the face with the wet sponge, and see if you can notice like a more full coverage or more sheer coverage application. And then it says to wash it, you just machine wash in your wash ball approximately once a week with your makeup eraser / towel load. If you have not washed in over a week, or you are a heavy makeup wearer, soak your sponge in your favorite cleanser or detergent for 15 to 60 minutes prior to wash. And then to dry, toss sponge and wash ball into the dryer on high heat. The higher the heat, the happier the sponge. Longer heat equals less germs. So I have washed my sponge. It's kind of fluffy. I haven't used it in about a week. No, I haven't used it in a few days because I wanted to film this video before I used it again after I had washed it. So I was using like another sponge that I have. This is kind of fluffy though. So this is what the sponge looks like when it's clean out of the washing machine. It's not 100% fully clean. I did not soak it before, and I hadn't washed it in over a week for sure. Over a fucking week. But this is what it looks like without being soaked, and like you can definitely still see some product in there. So next time I wash it, I will definitely soak it, and I will record that all. And so it says you're supposed to use like the pointy tip for concealer. This side is supposed to be for powder, this flat side, and then the bottom side is supposed to be lit for like foundation and stuff. I don't use powder that often, and I don't put powder on with a sponge, so I usually just like use the whole sponge for foundation, because that's mostly, and concealer, because that's mostly what I use with a sponge. So I'm gonna do half my face with a dry sponge, and then we're gonna do the other half with a wet sponge and see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my TATCHA, the Liquid Silk Canvas Primer. This stuff is quite nice. I used it once before and I enjoyed it. Now I'm gonna take my Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream. Okay, now I'm going in with my KAJA Catnap Under Eye Brightener. We're going full coverage today, people. So I'm gonna take my Tarte Foundcealer. This is in the shade 22S Light Sand. So I put 2 pumps onto my palette. Looks like a lot. And I guess we're gonna go in with this sponge now. So we're going in with a dry sponge. This is dry. And I think I'm just going to kind of blot on some foundation and then we'll go in and blend it. Dry sponge, here we go. Oh, I like this foundation. I kind of forgot about it. This foundation is really pretty. And it kind of matches me pretty well right now. That looks really good. You see the difference in half of my face? Kind of want to build it up a bit more to see. Why not? Wow, that foundation looks very nice. I like that a lot. It's really good. I haven't used this foundation with this sponge yet. I haven't used this foundation in a long time. Okay, now I'm taking a little bit of my IT Cosmetics by Undereye. Okay, looks good. Okay, that's what it looks like with the dry sponge. So now that's like mostly what I use my sponge for anyways, is just foundation and concealer. So I'm gonna wet the sponge now and then we'll do the other side and see if it's any more of a sheer coverage. There is some lint on here. Maybe that's from the dryer. That's something I don't love. When you see it, like in this little area here, there's some lint. Now I'm going to wet the sponge. I just have my little spray bottle here that I use to wet my sponges. Okay, next side. So I guess I'll apply some with the brush first just to like disperse it, and then I'll go in afterwards because that's what we did on the first side. Okay, wet sponge, here we go. Okay, and then I did go back in again with a bit more product, right, on the other side. And now we'll take some of the IT Cosmetics by Undereye. Alright, and blend that in with the wet sponge. So this half is the side that is done with the dry sponge, and this half is done with a wet sponge. And it looks the same to me, to be completely honest. Like, this side is potentially a little bit more dewy. Like a slight amount, but I think it looks fantastic though. It's a lot more coverage than I normally wear, but I think that the skin, that's a really good match. That's really cute. I'm very happy. I love this fucking sponge, you guys. It is just such a good sponge. To be honest, I don't really notice a difference. I like the feeling of the application better with a wet sponge. Yeah, I don't really notice a difference if I'm being completely honest with you. I think it all looks beautiful. I love the TATCHA primer as well. It's really pretty. Is that kind of pointless? Is this a pointless video? Yeah, I don't really notice a whole difference in coverage with the dry or wet sponge, but I do love this sponge a lot and I highly recommend it. I like it a lot more than my Real Technique sponge, if I'm being honest with ya. It's just like way nicer. It's like way softer on the skin. It's squishier, which I actually like a lot. This is not wet, but should I wet it and show you the size comparison? I just love the shape of this one a lot more. And it's just like softer, squishier. I think I'm just gonna go over my whole face with the wet sponge just because I like it. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of a difference between the dry sponge side or the wet sponge side. Like, well, maybe, am I wrong? Is right here a little bit more sheer compared to here. I have been kind of patting my face a bit with the sponge, so that could have something to do with that. Yeah, I feel like the wet sponge soaks up more product, so you probably get a more sheer coverage in that sense because the wet sponge is soaking up more product. You know what I will say is that, oops, the makeup feels a bit heavier on this side as compared to this side. I can't really visually notice a difference, but I can feel it. It's a little bit thicker over here because the sponge is not soaking up as much product. So that's a thing I've noticed. Like when I go over this side, I can kind of feel it picking up product. But yeah, all in all, that's probably the only difference I can notice is that when I go over the dry sponge side with the wet sponge, it feels like lighter. So that's that. I think that if you are in the market for a new sponge, you should definitely check out this makeup eraser sponge. And this is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. 100% not. As much as I wish it was. No, it isn't. But yeah, so it comes with this little ball that you toss in the washing machine. So it's supposed to last for up to 2 times as long as like a classic sponge. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the makeup eraser. I love their products so far. 10 out of 10, would recommend. All right, the skin actually, it looks so pretty. I love it. It looks amazing. Should we apply powder with the makeup eraser sponge and see what that looks like? Because I never apply powder with a sponge. Okay, I'm taking my Hourglass Veil Setting Powder and we're going to set the under eyes with this makeup eraser sponge. That actually looks really good. What? I'm kind of shocked. I was not expecting to like that. Oh my god. Am I a sponge powder bitch now? What the fuck? That looks so good. Wow, 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 wow. Oh my god. That actually looks stunning. Like, it looks airbrushed. Oh my god, what the fuck? I was not expecting to like a powder application with a sponge. Oh my god, it looks so good up close. Like, let me show you. Oh my god, it's so nice. I think I'm a sponge powder bitch now. Oh my god, you guys, I was not expecting to like that, and that looks unreal. 10 out of 10. Is that what a powder application is like with a sponge? I am in shock. That was so satisfying, you guys. Fuck yeah, that was super, super nice. Wow. I've even kind of felt like my under eyes look kind of dry recently because I normally just set them with a brush. But I feel like doing it with a sponge kind of like locks in the moisture. I don't know. I think I made that up in my head, but I'm gonna go with it because my under eyes look so good. Like, you guys, I have dark, 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 dark under eye circles, and I feel like you can't even see them. Oh my god, who is she? She's a powder sponge bitch. That's who she is. Well, I am literally shocked. Shocked and pleased. Okay, wow. I love it. Absolutely love it. They look amazing. Okay, well, that's how I'm going to be applying powder from now on. That looks amazing. It looks so natural. Okay, wow. Very happy. Very, 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 very happy. I'm going to continue on and just put on my eyebrows. I'll be right back. Alright, my brows are on. I used my Hourglass Arch Pencil and then my Glossier Boy Brow, and I also did a couple flicks of brow flick and just in the end. Now I'm going to finish up the complexion, and then I think we'll end it there. I'm going to do my eyes for another video, so you can catch that in the next one if you want to see what I did after I finish up the complexion. But let's put on the rest of our face products, shall we? I think I'm going to go in with my Milk Makeup Baked Bronzer. And I'm going to take it on this e.l.f. stippling brush and just kind of get the product onto the brush like that, and then massage it into my hand just so it's all nice and seamless, no like chunkies or anything. And then we're gonna just bronze up the face. I've been doing my bronzer with this brush for the past couple of days, and I love the way that it makes my bronzer look. It's just beautiful. Oh my god, you guys, it's so pretty. I love this bronzer. It's just a perfect color. Nice and warm. And I love the way that it applies with this brush. And like on my normal makeup routine, I usually set my under eyes after I've finished putting on my complexion products. So that's something to note. Like I notice it looks a little bit kind of separated under here, and I think that's because I normally prefer to do my under eye powder after the rest of my face, but it's just a little something. Now we're going to take our blush. We are still doing the Patrick Ta tricks and tips. So we do the powder first, and then we set it in with the cream, and it just kind of brings life back to the skin. So I'm taking my Tarte Amazonian Clay in the shade Paaarty, and just this little e.l.f. blush brush, and just kind of right up here. And then now we go in with our Tower 28 Magic Hour Beach Please blush. And I'm taking this Sephora brush, and I'm just kind of doing the same thing, working it into my hand to take off any excess product as well. Maybe a little bit here. There we go. You guys, that is it for this video today. I literally love this sponge. It is so fantastic. I'm so happy that I decided to purchase it. I just love the Makeup Eraser brand as a whole. I just am so happy with the products that I have purchased from them. I would once again say that if you are in the market for a new sponge, I would highly look into getting the Makeup Eraser sponge. It's $22 on Sephora. I paid like 40 bucks because I ordered it from their website before it was on Sephora. But yeah, you guys, I highly recommend the sponge. It is super nice, and I'm pretty excited that it's reusable, like to an extent that you can wash it in the washing machine, and it should last like up to 6 months is what it says. So that's all great news for me. I'm super stoked about the sponge. I hope you guys, if you do check it out, if you do pick it up, let me know what you think about it. Is it just as good as the Real Techniques? Is it better? Do you like it better than Beauty Blender? I like it better than Beauty Blender. I haven't used a Beauty Blender sponge in like years. I switched to the Real Techniques one just because it's cheaper, and like essentially they do the same thing, but I think out of all of the sponges I've used, my Makeup Eraser is definitely by far my favorite. I just love the texture of it, and I also love that it's like eco-friendly, so you could just wash it in the machine, you're good to go. I am going to go and film another video now. I'm not going to change my clothes. I'm only wearing like this little tiny bra, but I'm keeping it on. So I will see you with this shirt and this face in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll have all the products I use listed in the description bar down below, along with my Instagram handle. Please don't forget to subscribe if you are not already, and like this video. Give it a little thumbs up. Share it if you so please. I would love that from ya. And yeah, don't forget to drink some water. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.